Okay, so today we're going to be drawing the rocker plate. Again, this drawing is in your packet. It would do you a huge favor to have your packet out as you draw this and or watch this video. Because while I will be going back and forth to this, it's much easier to have a piece of paper in front of you that has all of this on it. So to get started, we're going to open up an old drawing. It could be your template file, it could be your ratchet wheel, it could be your alignment plate if you have those done. So I'm just going to go to start. Actually, we'll go over to just open in general in the upper left hand corner here. I'm going to go to my demo folder, under documents, demo folder, and we'll just pick really any one of these. I think yesterday I did the alignment plate, so we'll just open that up. Now, again, very importantly, and a few people were struggling with this previously, we need to make sure that we do save as. So again, I like this. I want to keep it. So the big thing is I need to do click on the big A in the upper left hand corner, click save as, and then we're going to retitle this. We want to call it rocker plate. And click save. So now this is a copy of the alignment plate file that is called rocker plate. Okay, so again, we can verify that by just double checking up here and looking at the tab that we're working from. So now I can very safely just delete everything that's here, and I'm ready to start working on my rocker plate. So to get started on this, there's a few different ways we can do this. There's 10 different ways we can do everything in AutoCAD. I'm just going to start by just drawing out these two circles, and then I'm going to use lines to just kind of locate the two centers of my other two circles. So we'll start with our 1.5 inch diameter circle here, and then our 2 1/4 diameter circle there. So we'll make sure we're on our object layer here in our rocker plate drawing. I'm going to switch to center diameter this time, just to make my life a little easier. We'll type 1.5, and then in the same center point, we can type 2.25. And again, I'm using the diameter circle function here. And again, if you're not sure how things turned out, you can always pull a dimension down and just double check, your measurements. Hit escape there just to get rid of that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to lay out those other center points. So I'm going to use my construction layer, and we're going to go to the right 2 1/4 to find this center point on the right, and then to the left 2 1/4 according to this dimension, plus down 1/2 inch, and that'll find my left center point as well. So we've got our construction layer active. Like I said, we're going to go to the right 2 1/4, so 2.25. Start our line command again, and then from the center out, we're going to go 2.25 again, and then straight down 1/2 inch, 0.5. Hit escape. So now we have our two center points located. We can switch back to object layer. And then we're going to draw our innermost circles here. And according to this, those are 1 inch in diameter again. So again, using the diameter circle tool, again, it defaults to radius, so just pay attention to that. It's 1 inch there. And we're going to have... let's just draw another circle over here rather than being fancy and trying to copy. 1 inch there. Okay. And now I'm just going to delete my construction lines because I don't need them anymore. Everything's located properly. Now we're going to start working on all the lines and curves that make up the outside. So in the middle, we have one bigger circle that makes up the bottom curve and the top curve. So that's a radius of 1.375. And on the left and the right, we have a radius of 0.75. Let's go over here. We're going to switch our circle tool back to center radius. Hover over here, get our center marker, 1.375, hit enter. And then we'll do another circle here, 0.75. And we'll do the same thing over here, 0.75. So now we just have to start connecting things up with our tangent lines. Now, we've talked about tangent before and what it means. So there's a few different ways to do this. The quickest way is not the most precise. However, It's quick, it's easy, and it gets you 99.999% of the way there. So that's the method we're going to use. So the first thing we need to do in order to be able to do this is we want to check our object snap settings and make sure we have tangent checked off. And note the symbols here. Okay, so this symbol shows a circle with a line across it. That's what we need. So we're going to click on line. We're going to start at just the top quadrant, which is like a diamond marker of one of our circles. And then we're going to go find the tangent point there. So we see the circle with a line over top in green. Click. We're going to go back and find our tangent point again. Then we'll go back a third time and find yet another tangent point. So zoomed way out, it looks like we have, pardon me, 2 lines there. But we actually have 3. So we can now see that there's 3. So we don't want this one, so we'll delete that one. And we don't want our innermost one there. We'll delete that. We'll zoom out. Okay. So we're essentially just going to be repeating this process for our other 2 tangent lines. If you really want, you could also mirror the top one to the bottom as well. That's also an option. So for now, we're just going to draw those lines. So again, to repeat that process, quadrant, the top of the circle, to a tangent point, to another tangent point. And make sure that circle with a line pops up. Then we go back one more time and let that lock in. If we zoom in kind of on the right here, we can delete our innermost one there, and then here, these are really close together. So we're just going to delete, again, the innermost line there. Outermost line is the correct one. So we'll do the same thing down here, same process. Quadrant, tangent, tangent, and then tangent one last time. And again, zoom in, delete the lines we don't want. Make sure I don't leave a double line here. Okay. So our outside is mostly formed. Now we just need our circle. Now, before we talked about, when we were drawing this by hand, we talked about the curve that goes here. We don't know its exact center point, but we know that it's tangent to this circle and this circle. And then we know the radius of 1. Double check that. Yep. Radius of 1 right there. So in order to find the center point, there's a few ways we could do that. We could do what we did with our compasses before, where we just created a new arc that was radius plus radius. So 1.75 and then 2.375. And we intersect them, and then we can draw our circle. However, if we go under our circle tool here, we'll note that we know that we are tangent to 2 circles, so 2 tangent points, and we know the radius. So we can click on that, and then we just read the directions that the cursor gives us. Specify point on object for first tangent of circle. Note that it says first there, because watch what happens when I click. Basically, nothing happens. Okay. The only thing that changed were the directions on my cursor now say specify point on object for second tangent of circle. So I'm going to click that now. I'm going to leave my mouse down here because it could end up here. We want to leave it down here. And we're going to type a radius, because now it's asking for the radius of 1, and hit enter. And we see that it's now drawn that 1-inch radius arc there for us. Now all we have to do is go in with our trim tool, clean everything up, and put in center line. So that's what I'm going to do now. So trim, click on that, hit enter once, and now we're just cleaning up all the little bits of circles that are left extra. Okay, and let's compare that against our drawing here. That looks pretty good. And now we can just put in our center line. So I like to use the offset tool to do that. So offset, let's go, let's say 0.15. Let's see how that looks. Click our circle, go outside of it. The trick is we don't want to cross over the outside border here. Let's switch over to center line. And just use the line tool, and we're just going to draw a straight line. One there. One there. And as soon as I get done making a center line, I like to delete the outside circle. Oops, not repeat eraser, I want to repeat line. Go across. Down. And again, we'll just delete that. I know we don't have the plus there. We'll adjust the line type scale in a minute. In fact, we can actually just delete this outside circle because we'll get this one correct. They're the same size, and I'll just paste it over. So let's get our line type scale straightened out on these two. So we'll left click each of these center lines. Then right click one of them and hit Properties. Move our box over so we can see what's going on here. And down on line type scale right here, we're just going to click the 1, and we'll change it. Let's try 0.5. That gives us our little plus mark in the middle, so I like that. Keep it. And all I have to do is just kind of highlight just the center lines here, make sure they're selected. And we'll go up here to Copy and ask, where are we copying these from? And there's actually a few options. Anywhere the lines touch the circle, we could copy from there. We could just copy from the center. It really doesn't matter. So I could just grab the left side here, go over to the left side of this corresponding circle, and there we have it. Again, make sure to click Save. Double check that our file's named correctly, and click Quick Save. And that's the rocker plate.